Brand new trailers for Blue Beetle, Secret Invasion, and Across the Spider-Verse. We're talking all that and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing.
Let's do it.
Kind of feel like we should have done the Barbie trailer too, but we won't.
I haven't watched it.
Haven't you? Good. We can't do
No.
it then. We can't do it.
No.
Good. It's a bit weird.
I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So
This
is
isn't
it-
going to be a full review of the Barbie trailer, but I don't get who
Is the
movie's
premise
for.
essentially Enchanted, but with Barbie World instead of Princess
I don't know.
World, Disney
I don't
World,
know.
whatever
I
it
watched
is?
the trailer. I didn't get it. I'm glad we're not doing it for the show, even though we are now. But yeah, there you go. That's it. That's what you're getting, listeners. Goodbye. See you later. End of the episode. That's our trailer review done. No, we've had a change of plan. We were going to do Super Mario, but Anthony's dying, so Anthony's not going to be allowed in any cinemas.
No.
So, but luckily, Marvel and DC and Sony all decided to release like the biggest trailers of the year within like 2 days of each other.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot to talk about. There's other stuff to talk about as well. So basically on this week's show, we're going to be breaking down all the latest comic book movie news, including Marvel reducing the yearly input, a Harry Potter reboot, because we need one, and then we're going to give you a full review of the latest trailers, as we said, for Secret Invasion, Blue Beetle and Across the Spider-Verse, before listening to your thoughts and theories on the trailers in this week's Podfans Assemble. Big Podfans Assemble this week. Lots of
I think
messages.
biggest ever.
And he's really going to struggle, so it's going to be entertaining to listen to.
Being ill and
Exactly.
trying to speak.
Tries to read out like 50 odd messages. Going to be an absolute laugh.
I hope
this one.
everyone's called Dave. That's all I'm saying.
They're not. Spoilers. This is also your spoiler warning. There will be spoilers and speculation throughout the episode. Finally, if you want to skip ahead to any of the trailer reviews or the Podfans Assemble, we'll put timestamps in the description as always. News then. So we start with Marvel. So we've been saying with Marvel for ages that they need to focus on quality over quantity. And obviously, I think it's pretty widely agreed everywhere that that's going to be the plan moving forward now.
Bob Hare does.
Yeah, the right Bob Iger, came in and replaced the
right Bob.
the
Oh,
wrong
sorry.
Bob, as Anthony calls him. Now it looks like we've got some more info on what the new streamlined MCU is actually going to be. So, according to Jeff Snyder, Marvel's target output has been reduced, and they've reduced it from 4 movies and 4 TV shows a year down to 2 shows and 3 movies a year.
That sounds about right.
I think. Well, I mean, that's probably what we're getting this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 shows, 3 movies. Hang on,
I think that's
Quantumania,
enough.
Guardians, and
Because
Marvels.
one movie every 4 months is still plenty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not even the movies that were the big problem.
They're
for me.
only 16 weeks apart when you think about it like that.
I know.
It's not a ridiculous amount. It's not even 16 weeks, to be honest. It doesn't
No,
work
it's
out
not.
like that.
No.
So yeah, I just don't.
We've had times where we've had one Marvel movie a year, though. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
nobody was sitting there panicking. But I said, I don't think it's the movies for me. It's the TV series.
Yeah.
that's what there seems to be too much of. I've got a question though about like where it's going to go now. So obviously we've had all these like pre-announced shows. So we've had Agatha, Ironheart, Vision Quest, which nobody wants, or I don't anyway.
Yeah.
So what's happening with the phases? Because we're only going to get like 2 series a year. Are the phases going to get dragged out over a twice as longer period, or are we just going to get rid of these projects?
I think it depends on the project, to be honest. Because if you think about it, so for example, taking Agnes.
Agatha.
Why did I just say Agnes?
And he's not well. This is going to be really entertaining.
So taking,
How much cough syrup have you had?
I've had 3 bottles of Cavonia.
Oh, amazing.
So that, from what it sounds like, is a prequel until it goes to the immediate aftermath of Westview.
Yes.
So we're going to know where that, and I think for a lot of the projects, we're going to kind of get that quite quickly.
Yeah.
Like the fact that apparently in Secret Invasion, there's talks that they might be in the middle of the blip.
Okay. Yeah, potentially.
Because the big question that's been coming out is, where are the Avengers? Why are they not fighting this
Okay.
threat?
Yeah.
And so people are thinking perhaps it's because it's during the blip, everyone's scrambling, the remaining Avengers are off trying to figure out how to reverse it, so they've not got the time to be dealing with ground level stuff.
Hadn't even thought of that. I mean, we'll talk about
So-
Secret Invasion more obviously in a bit,
But it's things like that. So I think even if it does come out later, it can still be slotted chronologically into it quite easily.
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, but
So
then
I
I also think, do we need them? Do we need a Vision series?
I think no.
Do we need
At the
an
end of the day,
Ironheart series?
we haven't needed any of them particularly
No, we haven't, have we?
because maybe for the end of Loki, for example, he's going to fall back into the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it is still completely separate to anything else. The only thing that relates it is the fact that it's Kang. That's literally it. So for these, it could just be story fillers between movies. So it's just fleshing out the other stuff.
The thing is, though, some of the projects have actually done things that we need. Do you get what I mean? Like what we needed WandaVision.
Yeah,
we did need.
Wanda's story was brilliant for the film.
We needed Loki, or at least I think we needed Loki anyway, and we needed Falcon and Winter Soldier because that's got us to Captain America 4, or what's it called, New World Order.
Yeah.
So it's got us there. But then when you've got all these other things like Moon Knight and She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel, I suppose Ms. Marvel to a degree is getting us somewhere in the Marvels, but I would imagine that we probably could have done that in the first 15 minutes of the Marvels rather than having a whole TV series. And I think it's that we need to get rid of.
But I think for those, it's more the introduction of the characters. But so that when they do come into them,
introduce a character.
Probably not. But the idea now is that when they come into a movie, we don't need their backstory. We can just go, it's Moon Knight.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Fight with us.
But then is Moon Knight going to appear in movies?
Who knows?
No, I don't know. I think they just need to...
knows?
We need to... This story's been so... We spent a lot more time on this news article than I thought we would. This whole story for Phase 4 and 5 has been too widespread for me. And that's been the issue that I've had, and I think a lot of people have had. It needed to be more streamlined and focus more on the one story. And it's all the separate shows that have taken away from that.
Yeah.
And I think if you hadn't had them, or if they'd played it a little bit differently, they could have just sort of, again, streamlined it through and people wouldn't have lost interest.
Well, it's like, think about it, in this phase, one of the best receptions on films was Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Now, when's Shang-Chi 2 happening?
Exactly. Like when are they going to fit it in?
Exactly. It's now booked in, isn't it? For 2024, possibly. End of. Okay. I don't know for certain, but it's like he's there and he's gone.
Yeah.
And there's no.
When's he going to show?
There's
up
no
again,
introduction.
In his next
he's
movie?
He's not even been at the end of an episode or something to say.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's about. Do you know what I mean? It's It's that kind of thing. Like at least with Iron Man, once it started introducing the other stuff. He was in the end credit scene.
Yes.
Same with starting a team. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
And they were all appearing more in each other's movies as well, weren't they? We haven't really had any of that.
And then it's just kind of stopped again.
I know, yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
The only one we've had it in is Multiverse of Madness, and that's because Spider-Man went to... No, other way round. It was No Way Home because Strange was in Spider-Man.
Yeah. But other than that, there hasn't been that many. I know obviously Wong's been in everything, but there's not been that many more crossovers. We need to go back to Phase 2.
Yeah.
Phase 2 of the MCU was brilliant.
Well,
and again, it looks like we probably will be with Secret Invasion.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? So
we'll get there when we get there.
Sorry, guys, yeah.
So keep on with the news. So Guardians news. So less than a month to go now until what's probably going to be the final ever Guardians of the Galaxy movie. James Gunn, I know you had sad, isn't it? James Gunn has dropped the track list for Awesome Mix Volume 3, aka the Guardians 3 soundtrack. He's dropped links to it on his Twitter as well, so you can actually go and hit the playlist.
You sent it to me.
Or Spotify. Have you listened to it yet?
No, I've been hesitant.
Why? I don't give anything away.
No, I know, but I'm not ready.
You're not ready to say goodbye?
No, I feel like I need to watch the film before I listen to the soundtrack.
No, I've always listened to the soundtracks before the movies.
Have you?
Yeah, because a lot of the music I don't particularly know, because a lot of it's like 70s and 80s music that I don't know. And I've always found that once I've listened to them a couple of times, because I've been listening to this all week, when I then go into the films 1 and 2, I recognise the music and it's a bit more enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why, because I feel like with the music that's in the background as well, because I've listened to the songs on their own, I know a bit more about what that song's actually about and what it's trying to say. And I know it sounds really deep, but then I get more sort of what like the scene's trying to do as well, because I know more about the music. But yeah, I mean, it's a good soundtrack. As I said, I've been listening to it all week. It's got all the songs from the trailer so far, including Since You've Been Gone by Rainbow and In the Meantime by Space Hog. Loads of other stuff as well, though. Big ones. An acoustic version of Creep by Radiohead.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's right at the start of the soundtrack as well, so I don't know. They normally go in the order of the film as well, from experience, so that's going to start off sad. You've also got We Care A Lot by Faith No More and No Sleep Till Brooklyn by the Beastie Boys. Amazing. It's really good. There's nothing in there, though, that's like a tearjerker, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there that's like, right, this is going to be like a big sad moment. So I don't know whether they're trying to keep that back or whether maybe there aren't any big, horrible, sad moments. There will be. He's probably just not going to use a song.
Probably not going to use any music. It's just going to be full, dead silent.
It'll probably just be like orchestra and stuff
then I'll
like
just cry my heart out.
It's going to be rough. Can already tell it's going to be rough. But it is what it is. It's all over. Harry Potter news. Sure, everybody already knows this because it's almost broke Twitter. But Bloomberg this week has reported that WB are developing a Harry Potter reboot in the form of a series for HBO Max. They reckon it's going to readapt the books in full with each season covering one of the 7 books. Do we need it? Do you want it?
I feel like it's too soon.
That's what I kind of think as well. It's been 10 years since the last Harry Potter movie.
But it's been 22 since the first.
Exactly.
So, is it or isn't it? And then, but the other thing...
Moana came out like 3 weeks ago and they're remaking that.
But the other thing is, and to an extent, they've got to, but J.K. Rowling's been involved in a lot of talks and decisions, and that's putting a lot of people off.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because it means that she will make the money. I mean, she'll make money off it no matter what.
She'll make money if she's not involved.
It's her initial idea.
Exactly.
So there's going to be, proceeds that go to her and stuff like that. But it's just turning people off very, very quickly.
I know, and I don't want to get into the whole argument as to
whether she's right or wrong. Because
at the end of the day, I don't think that matters.
I love the Wizarding World.
Exactly.
I love the whole storyline. I think it's all brilliant.
I think we need to separate what her personal views are. Not saying they're right or wrong, not getting into that, but just with everybody, we need to say this is a fictional world.
We just need to move on from the era of nostalgia.
Yeah.
This is what's winding me up at the moment. There are no new ideas.
No, there aren't.
Nothing. Everything is a sequel, a prequel,
always has been
a reboot.
Always has
there's
been.
Just
not reboots necessarily, but it's always been about
sequels.
There's
just nothing new anymore.
I know. We'll write a book,
and that's what's winding me up.
Let's write a book series, aren't we?
What about? I've tried, a couple of times.
I don't know.
But I never get past the first page because I just get bored of... I always like, when I did it, I always read books and I was like, there's one page just on the landscape outside.
Really?
And I'd start writing it.
You just draw the front cover and get bored?
Bored now.
Pretty much.
I'd do the landscape and then I'd go, fuck, what am I calling the main character?
And then it's
I give up.
Too much work, give up, done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we've not got a film series. No, I think it feels like it's been too soon. But then it hasn't when you actually think about how long it's been.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think the fact as well that they're doing it as a TV series instead of a movie, that makes it a little bit better because it's a different format.
But they're not going to be able to skip at any point.
Oh, you're going to have year on year on year.
Yeah, because what I mean is, I know we can't... How do I explain this? You can't foresee things like COVID and stuff stopping it. But like Stranger Things, it goes 2 years between series.
Yes.
Normally. They can't do that with Harry Potter.
No, you can't.
Because if you did that every year, by the final year, the kids that were playing it would be in the mid-20s.
Exactly.
And it's not going to work. So
they pretty much were anyway when they got to the
need
end of
to
Harry
be
Potter.
that commitment if you're going to do that.
I think they can, though, because you can get a whole book. You can get a whole book into a 2-hour movie. So they're going to stretch it out to 6 episodes? So they can do 6. I think you can take it to... It can't take them more than a year to create 6 hours of footage for a Harry Potter movie. If you're doing things right.
I know it won't take more than... people have done 24 episodes that are 40-minute long each for years and years. So we know that it's doable. What I mean is, just don't lose that because it's going to need to happen for your kids to be the same age.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, so they're going to have to start
the
off
right
with
age. Sorry, not the same.
They're going to have to start off with a young cast now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really?
You'll have to pick your 11-year-olds.
Exactly.
And just go through it with them.
Would you rather... another option, I suppose, instead of a reboot, would you rather see a continuation with the original cast, like the Cursed Child movie? Or is that ship sailed now, do you think?
I wouldn't have minded a Cursed Child
I've not
story.
read the script.
I've heard the stage version is amazing.
Yeah, so have I.
So I'd have no problem. I'd actually have no problem if they turned around and they said, we're going to do a prequel series of when Snape was at school. Because there's the whole thing between Snape, Lily and James and their relationship and stuff like that. That's something I'd be interested in seeing develop.
But then The Fantastic Beasts was a prequel series and that's bombed, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but
not very good.
The Johnny Depp thing ruined it, mate.
I suppose it did, didn't it?
Taking Johnny Depp out of the equation ruined it for me. I really enjoyed the first and second one.
Yeah.
The third one was a pile of shit.
And that's why they're rebooting. Because they've tried something new, didn't work, nobody cared. So I suppose they could go and try something else. They could try a continuation, but it's something original, and the original stuff just isn't working.
Even if they did a TV series about Harry's kids, because that's where the film ended.
I reckon that's where it'll go if the series does well.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, but I'm just not convinced the series will do well, because I think, again, nostalgia can work against you as well.
Because the other thing is, don't forget, we dressed Ron, Harry and Hermione up to be in their 20s, 30s for that final scene in the film. That's where they are now. They're in their 30s, so it would be a good time to do it.
Easy to do. I just don't think they'll do it. I think they're scared after Fantastic Beasts. So now it's like, let's just go back to what we know works in a slightly different format, so it doesn't look like we're just peddling the same shit again. I know, even though they are peddling the same shit again. I just
don't know how they're going to do some of the characters, who they're going to use.
I know, but it's going to be interesting. What else have we got? DC news. Got some DC news. So we could possibly have our first confirmed casting for James Gunn's new DCU. It's not not Chris Pratt, but it is someone from the MCU, kind of. Frank Grillo, who played Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, in Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Endgame. Do you know what I mean? Crossbones. The one who he was in Winter Soldier as one of Hydra. And then then he comes back with like the melted face at the start of Civil War.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean now, yeah?
Was he the dickhead with Emily Van Camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. So he has confirmed that he's moved over to DC in a recent interview with comicbook.com.
Okay.
So he basically said during the interview that he thinks Crossbones had more of a story to tell in the MCU, and that despite him hardly having any screen time, people around the world have really responded to the character. Have they? Okay.
Good for you, hon.
He concluded by saying, I think there was a lot more meat on the bone. I was disappointed, which is why I went over to DC. So there's not any official confirmation of this. Not that it's happening. We've not had any tweets from James Gunn yet, which is what we'd expect at this point.
He's very Twitter active, isn't he, James Gunn?
But he's not normally... I feel like by now he should have come out and confirmed it or denied it.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've just had silence, I mean, not complete silence, we'll talk about what he said today in a minute.
Yeah.
But, yeah, whether it's happened or not, I don't know.
Remember when he liked our tweet?
Yeah, like 100 years ago. Yeah.
That was a good day for us.
It was a good day. It was fun. It was a good day. Frank Grillo in the DCU then. Can you see him as anybody in particular?
In DC?
Yeah. Do you know where I'm going? Jason Todd, Red Hood.
Do you know where I was going to go?
Older.
And then I feel like he's got the look, but then...
Who?
Two-Face. But then obviously, because you said like half his face melted, it'd be like doing same again, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I do think he'd make a good Harvey Dent.
Potentially, yeah. See, I was thinking Nightwing, like a hardened Nightwing, older Robin, and then I thought he's probably a little bit too... He's got a bit too much of an edge about him, which is why I thought Jason Todd.
Yeah.
He could pull off Jason Todd. But yeah, we'll see. I'm still not actually convinced it's going to happen, but yeah, we'll see. Bit of news that I haven't actually made any notes on, so I'm going to wing it to a degree.
Go on.
So literally about 15-20 minutes ago, just before we started recording, Empire released a article, and they've had an interview with James Gunn, and he says that he'd be lying if he said that they hadn't discussed a Marvel DC crossover. I don't know. Do you want that?
I don't know.
Let me find the quote. I'm not sure I want it either. He said, so he was asked about it. He said, who knows? Just don't expect anything on that front in the immediate future. That's many years away, though. We have to establish what we're doing with DC first. I'd be lying to say that we haven't discussed it, but all discussions have been very, very light and fun.
It would be funny to do something multiversal as a cameo. You know, if like the Avengers went into like Strange took them through into the multiverse, and then suddenly they're faced with the Justice League, and they're all stood there in a line looking at each other and being like, oh, what's happening here? And then they go, we don't need it to be more than that.
We don't need a whole
It'd
phase
just
of
be
Marvel
a funny,
that.
And then it's moved on.
That's what
that's the most that we need from it.
Yeah, I think any more than that is too much. Do you not feel like it'd feel cheap if they did it more than that? It'd feel like panic stations. Shit, we can't figure out what to do with the DCU. Marvel's gone shit. What can we do to sell tickets? Let's clash them. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I don't like it. I just don't like the idea. Maybe I suppose it depends where the DCU goes and depends where Marvel goes, but yeah, in general, I don't like it. Final bit of news then. This took me by surprise massively. It got announced today. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is available to buy on digital next week.
Already?
17th of April. That is exactly 1 month after it came out in theatres.
Ooh.
That's not a good sign, is it? So that's...
Do you know what, though? To be fair, what Marvel film was on Disney Plus 48 days after it came out?
45 days is the normal way that they do it. Yeah,
Is it?
That's been the shortest that they've gone.
So this is 2 weeks sooner, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but it still just feels really desperate. So it's out next week on digital, and then on 23rd of May, the DVD and
my birthday
Blu-ray are available. There you go. I know what to get for your birthday. I just don't think it's a good look. Kind of figure out why they're trying to release it so early. Its current domestic US box office is 54 million.
Oh,
yeah. Internationally, it's only done 120 in 3 weeks.
Ooh,
that's bad, isn't
that
it?
is really
we used
bad.
Scream as a comparison last time when we talked about this. Scream is currently on 100 million domestically, and it's just over 150 worldwide. When you take into account as well that the estimated budget for Shazam was between 110 and 125 million.
Ah, shit.
And then that's just production budget. So when you look at the budget for movies, they always say double it. Double it for marketing and merchandise and stuff like that. So they have made a hell of a loss on that, which is a shame because it's not a bad film.
This is the thing. I think it's been sacked off because they denounced the DCU.
Yeah.
So the DCEU or whatever it was before, because they've said that anything that's remaining coming out now, we're rebooting it, we're starting afresh.
It's a gamble.
People just go, "So fuck, what's the point in watching it?"
But what else were they going to do? Because you can't sit there and go, actually, we will be including this, or just keeping quiet. Because then when you go and watch it, and if it turns out rubbish, people are going to go, well, that's a crap start to the new DCU.
No, I get that. But at the same time, people are just going to go, well, there's no point in watching it because it's not now going anywhere.
I know. But it could. It could have so easily still been incorporated.
Mate, there are a lot of thick people in the world there.
I know, but
that won't think about things like that.
It's not. We only reviewed it a couple of weeks ago, clearly. If you haven't listened to the review, go back and listen to it. We basically summed it up as, it wasn't a good film, because it wasn't. But it was a really enjoyable film.
Yeah.
And it's a massive shame that it's done so badly.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again.
I'd watch it again.
I'd well watch it again. In fact, Jake's not watched it yet. So when it comes out next week, we'll get it on digital and Jake can watch it. But I think it's safe to say now that it's probably the last time we're going to see Zachary Levi as Shazam. That's it. Probably no Shazam for a while now. No Shazam Black Adam until we get, 10 years into the DCU?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. That's us for news then. Shall we talk trailers? So
yes.
We've got 3 trailers to review. 3 massive trailers to review. So should we start with Secret Invasion? That was the first one to come out.
Yeah.
So let's start with Secret Invasion. So we'll break them all down. We'll go through them in a bit of detail, like what happened, what we saw, what we think it's going and stuff like that. Let's start with thoughts on Secret Invasion though. What do you think of the trailer? You excited?
I got mega Winter Soldier vibes.
So did I. I put this on Discord.
And it got me very excited.
Phase 2 just felt like it's been taken straight out of Phase 2 and dumped into Phase 5.
I feel like it's gone gritty.
Yeah. It's only a 2-minute trailer.
It is only a 2-minute trailer.
It might not be as gritty. They might be all the gritty parts.
I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson, so you're going to get an element of comedy in it.
Yeah.
Because of the way he responds to stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't want it to be a comedy.
No, I don't.
I want it to be an action, serious, we could seriously be fucked here kind of
I agree.
series. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of like that, and I enjoyed that. That was gritty. So then you Captain America literally taking someone's head off in the middle of a street. Do you know what I mean? Where's that Marvel gone? It wasn't that long ago.
No.
It was a year and a half ago because it was 2 years, just under 2 years ago.
I think so, yeah.
When we started the podcast, and it's like, how far have we gone from that? But this is back to what we want.
Yeah.
Very, very similar to that.
Very, very excited for it. Just the entire thing was really exciting.
Yeah.
What I'm annoyed about is the thing that I told you exactly what I thought was going to happen, in that there is stuff leaking left, right and centre.
Oh, I haven't seen the leaks. I've not seen the leaks.
So,
I know a few little bits, but I don't know anything that's going to make any massive difference. It's the rumours
and stuff like that. So
well, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to speculate.
This actor or actress we believe is going to be the big bad in this series and stuff like that. And I'm like, why are you telling me? Because I wanted to be shocked.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I haven't gone digging for anything like that. And
I didn't. It just came up on my feed, and that's what really annoyed me. It's I didn't even want to know the thing about Emilia Clarke.
Being Gaia.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, again, it's still only rumoured.
Yeah.
But, like... I
think that's confirmed.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't want to know any of that. I wanted to go in a bit blind.
That's not a big spoiler. Do you get what I mean?
No, that's
I don't
not,
want anything...
But the villain surprised me.
Well, I don't know the villain.
Well, that's why I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
But
So you have to smile and nod when I'm speculating through all this now.
But it pissed me off.
Okay, yeah,
because
no,
I was
agree.
like, if that's right, that would have shocked me in the series. I wouldn't have been expecting that.
Yeah.
And now I know, and I'll see it coming a mile off.
But I don't think that's not down to Marvel. I don't think, and I don't think it's necessarily down to the trailer, because I actually thought
no, it's not. It's got nothing to do with the trailer.
From the trailer
it's literally
perspective,
just the story.
I didn't watch this and feel I've seen that now, because I can paint and I can put together the series, which you have been able to do with so many Marvel projects and movies that have come out. It showed enough that it got me excited, but it didn't spoil anything. And I'll be honest, I still don't really get what it's about.
Same.
Or where it's going.
Yeah.
And you apparently know who the bad guy is, but I don't know. And I know who one of the bad guys is clearly from the trailer, but I don't know what they want. I don't know what's going on or anything like that.
Who's
so this is
from the trailer?
The Skrull, the dude.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Kingsley Ben-Adir. The dude who changes and all the people around him change. We'll talk about it in a second. He's obviously a bad guy.
Very Matrixy, that wasn't it?
Very Matrixy.
Yeah.
Very good though. Should we break down the trailer?
Yeah,
Should we get into detail?
I'm excited.
So we start with Fury back, see him landing the spaceship in a field. Kind of like that.
Can I just point out something?
He's back.
I'm going too ahead of myself. No, go, speak. I'm excited.
Okay. I've not been this excited about Marvel Project for ages. It's proper like back to old Marvel. So we get a really dishevelled looking Ben Mendelsohn, Talos.
Yes.
He looks like he's been dragged through the bushes. He's not looking like he's in a good way. And he basically says, since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse.
I can't breathe for the first time.
Exactly. Now he seems to be Fury seems to be aware, because he says, like, why do you think he'll come back? How long do we know how long he's been away yet?
It's minimum a year.
We know he's been gone for I don't I have this thing in my head that he disappeared after Civil War, after Winter Soldier. But I don't know when he left Earth, and I don't know how long Talos has been.
Well, people have known he's been off planet since Far From Home.
Far From Home, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So they've known he's off planet for that long. That's a year.
Yeah, and minimum. The rest? Far From Home. That was after the snap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was after the snap.
Yeah.
So minimum a year.
Yeah.
But then I don't know when this would have happened.
We don't know when this is yet, actually, do we?
No.
I'm assuming this is present day in Marvel.
Yeah.
I know there's talk about it being blip, but I'm assuming this isn't during the blip. I'm assuming this is after the blip, and it's all sort of happened. Purely because we see Rhodey, and I know Rhodey didn't blip, but he seems to be like not like an Avenger. That's just, like when we saw him in Falcon and Winter Soldier, he was very much like, I'm not an Avenger anymore.
He's
just
packing it in, yeah.
Yeah, he's like more like of a politician now. You see, in the 2 seconds we saw him on screen,
politician-y.
That's just that's how I got the character from there.
Yeah.
What else do we see? So we see Kingsley Ben-Adir blowing up a building in Russia, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Because we see, it looks like, is it St. Petersburg? Looks like Moscow, something like that. Anyway, and then we go off to London, and that's where we meet Olivia Colman's character, who apparently is an old friend of Fury's. She's playing a character called Sonya Falsworth, who isn't a character from the comics.
Okay,
but one of the Howling Commandos from Captain America, the English dude, he was James Montgomery Falsworth.
Okay,
so it's likely that she's linked to him, I would assume.
Okay.
Like a direct descendant, and that's why she's like S.H.I.E.L.D., if you get what I mean. But I'm also like, is she a Skrull? Because now I'm going to question, is everybody a Skrull?
But that's what I love about this.
Yeah, we don't know. We've got no idea.
It's almost thrillery. Who can you trust? Who can't you trust? That's what I love about it. Did you also notice that there seem to be 2 distinct Furies?
Yes. Yeah, there's like
we
Fury,
had eye patch younger Fury, and we had dishevelled, no eye patch, grey scraggly beard.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
that
are we seeing both Skrull Fury and real Fury?
Yeah, but I think Skrull Fury is Talos.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, and maybe it's flashbacks. Maybe it's like before Fury arrives and they go down that route.
Yeah,
don't know. This is the good thing. We've not got a clue what's happening, and
I'd be
really
intrigued by is if they did flashbacks of the takeover.
Yes.
So it might be set after the blip, but what we find out is actually during the blip is when.
Yeah.
Because people went missing, they didn't know who was missing yet or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could have been
an opportunity for them to get in and take over
the forms of those people that have disappeared.
Yeah. Didn't even think of that. Such a good opportunity for them to get in. So we get a shot as well that we've seen before. So Kingsley Ben-Adir's character. So he's playing a character called Gravik, because it's easier for me to say Gravik than his big long name. So we see him being confronted by Talos before like another 10 Skrulls all stand up in the background, like you just said, very Matrixy, and they all turn into Gravik.
Yeah.
He's obviously the leader. Okay. So he's the leader of this like faction of rebel Skrulls. I love the shot because how it shows that they've all got his back.
Yeah.
And they're like all standing by him. So he's obviously very, very, not obviously powerful. I mean, we get into his powers later
influential.
On as we see it. But yeah, this guy's just sort of standing up. This guy's getting like attacked to a degree by Talos.
Yeah.
And all his men are just happy to just sit there. And it's such a show of force all turning into him to say like, we are one basically.
Yeah.
The only negative I've got is I've seen that shot twice now. And I think that would have been amazing to see in the context of the show for the first time.
Yeah.
Because you'd really get the feels for it as if to be like, oh shit, this is like a little proper army going on here, isn't he? It got me asking as well, though, obviously there's this faction of Skrulls led by this Gravik.
Yeah.
What do they want? I know we're talking about them taking over. To what end? Why do they want to take over? Do they just want to take over the world?
Don't know.
That's the
but
thing
again,
I'm
I like
wondering.
that we don't know.
I know, but I feel like it should be not like it should be more obvious like we need to know, but I feel like it's got to be something obvious. But I hope it's not just they just want to take over because they want to take over. That's it. I hope they actually give us some specific reason as to why.
Or are they hiding?
From who?
Who knows?
Captain Marvel? No, because she likes the Skrulls.
Could be.
She's mates with the Skrulls.
Could be a version of Kang.
Ooh, didn't even think of that. Yeah, I like that. Good.
Because Kang's after everybody, not just Earth.
You've got me thinking. Now. We also see Fury's grave, which is not the same grave as Winter Soldier, as we see at the end of Winter Soldier.
No.
With the I can't remember what I had written on it. Something from
Fury.
No, it didn't have Fury. Obviously, it had Fury written on it. Wasn't it something from? Wasn't it a line from Pulp Fiction or something like that? But it's a different grave.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Exactly. It's a different grave. We also get first looks at Maria Hill and Everett Ross.
Oh, Maria Hill.
Exactly. Again,
love Maria Hill.
Good to have those two back as well. That's what feels like old school.
I still want to call her Robin though.
Yeah, no, I still feel like she's Robin
to this day.
We also then get a little bit of Olivia Colman saying that only a few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows.
I love that line.
How long has this secret invasion
and this
been
is
going
what
on?
makes
That's
me think,
thing.
Are we going to get flashbacks? Are we going to see stuff that we would never have even thought about?
Yeah. So this has obviously been going on for a while. Takes you back to what he said at the start, though. It's the Skrulls. How long have they been trying to infiltrate humanity? Is it even before?
What if it went back and you saw the shot of, like, for example, the first Iron Suit coming out of the cave in Afghanistan?
Yeah,
and the Skrull. So, like, there's some members of the Skrull that are trying to help him get out by stopping some of the other.
What if?
Do you know what I mean?
What, the dude who helped him?
Yeah,
Jensen.
What if that's a Skrull?
What if he's a Skrull?
This
and
is what I mean.
It's all been set up.
It's all been set up by the
that'd
Skrull.
Be so
the
good.
Skrull technically created the Avengers.
It'd be so good.
Wouldn't it?
Right, this is not going to happen, but what if we found that all the sort of side supporting characters were Skrulls?
What,
so,
in
like,
everything ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine.
Like Jensen or whatever his name was. Luis from Ant-Man.
Oh my God.
Skrull. Can you imagine? Korg. I'd love it. It'd be absolutely amazing.
Same accent.
It would, yeah. There you go. You heard it here first, guys. Exclusive. So we also get a shot of Emilia Clarke's character. Huge warehouse full of what looks like people in like cryo chambers.
And she's not happy.
She's not happy now. Not at all.
She's furious.
Who are the people in the cryo chambers?
See what I did? I'm furious.
I didn't get it, but I do now.
Thanks.
I'm thinking they're either Skrulls, like training, like being, like not mind wipe, but you know what I mean.
What I was thinking was, what if they're the Super Skrulls?
Yeah, they could be. But I'm also thinking that they're just the people that replaced.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't want to kill anyone. Because they're not bad Skrull. Because they're hiding.
Yeah.
From Kang.
You done? You done now?
Yes.
So, her character, as we said, she's playing a character called Gaia. So, she's the daughter of Talos from Captain Marvel. She's not a hero, but not a villain either. According to Clark, she's lost touch with her dad since Captain Marvel and is sort of like out on her own. So she's kind of like a free agent type of thing. But I get the impression that she's going to end up being the good, not the bad guy, the good guy, unless you know something I don't.
No.
There's a shot in there as well where somebody asks where the Avengers, like you said, and he says he just wants to fight this war on his own. But again, that's I get why you're thinking, is it the blip?
He doesn't say I just want to fight it alone. He says something along of...
He says this war is one I have to fight alone.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it? It could just be because he doesn't trust anybody. Because he doesn't know which ones of the Avengers he can actually trust.
Maybe.
That's it. Rhodey as well is there, as we said. He says, you're the most wanted man on the planet. Why? Because he was like a hero. Everyone knew Fury as being like the leader of the Avengers and a hero. So why is he now wanted? Is it because the Skrulls have like infiltrated the government and they're trying to paint him as a villain? Because they want him dead, or they don't want him telling people what's happening. So they're trying to make him come across as a lunatic. Because he knows too much. He knows that these Skrulls are infiltrating, so they're trying to get rid of him now. What if Rhodey's part of it? What if Rhodey
isn't Rhodey in the series? What if Rhodey is just a Skrull?
He could be, yeah. We get a ton of action shots. We get a shot of a briefcase with Damage Control logo on it, with some sort of sample in it. And then it all sort of culminates in Gravik producing like tentacles from his arm. So he's got like powers, which most Skrulls don't.
That gave me Terminator feels, by the way.
Yeah, it did a little bit, yeah.
Terminator 2-y.
But also, so the question is he a Super Skrull? So in the comics, there were Super Skrulls. I think there's a few of them, but it originally just started with one Super Skrull.
Right.
And he had massive links to the Fantastic Four. So he was a Skrull imbued with the powers of the Fantastic Four so that he could use stretchy arms.
Well, that's why I'm thinking of the cryo chambers for them. Because if he's the Super Skrull...
Is the stretchy arm because he's got Reed Richards' powers?
Maybe.
What if this is all a link into the Fantastic Four?
What if you find all the Fantastic Four in the cryo chambers? And that's our introduction to the Fantastic Four?
Maybe.
That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
I'd love to get an introduction like that.
I'm more
like we're just not expecting
but also
it, and
like
bam, it's there in your face.
A bit more of a grounded Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Not silly, stupid. I don't know how you're going to do Fantastic Four without coming across as silly, but we need a bit more gritty.
Well, no, 'cause you got...
Not like that Fantastic Four reboot Fantastic. That was too gritty. That was crap. But just somewhere in between. And then it wraps up anyway with one last fight. I think Fury says one last fight. So, which I assume means it's the last time we're going to see Nick Fury.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I'm surprised he's still in it, to be perfectly honest. Everybody else has left.
I love that he's still in it, though.
I do. I like the fact that he doesn't pop up as much anymore, though. I like that.
But when he does, it's brilliant.
It's always good. Good.
In Spider-Man, No Way Home. No, Far From Home.
In both of them?
When he just...
No.
But it's not him, it's Skrull.
It's a Skrull. It's Talos all along, it's Mendo all along. Really excited. June 21st. Not long to go.
Not long at all.
6 episodes.
Cannot wait. I can't believe it's only going to be 6 episodes.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing again. Let's not drag it out. No,
but
let's not do an Andor
with so much mystery around it.
I know.
Like, I'm just... Oh, I feel like it's going to be action-packed.
No more trailers now.
No.
We said no more trailers last week. We really want no more trailers.
Yeah.
Just to pre-warn you listeners, if they release another trailer, we won't be covering it because I don't want to ruin it.
No.
I'd rather just go in blind.
Yeah. Just like the Barbie film.
Just like the Barbie film. That's why Andy's not watching it. He wants to be surprised. Second trailer. Let's do Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Have you watched this one?
Yes.
Good. Amazing.
I've been good this week.
Should we do thoughts? Let's rather than doing thoughts, let's just break it down and we'll do thoughts as we go. Because I've got a lot of thoughts on this one. A lot of people have got a lot of thoughts on this one. That's why Podfans Assemble is so big. I'm just going to have to fly through that. So, we open with a fake out on main character, Jaime Reyes, played by Xolo Mariduena. You impressed that I got that first time?
I am impressed. How many times you practice that in the mirror?
No, I just know who he is. He's from Cobra Kai. He's the main character in Cobra Kai. Fake out because it makes it look like he's like the ultra rich dude at the country club when in fact he just works there. I do feel like we've seen that before. Shang-Chi trailer.
Yeah, valet.
Same sort of thing. Yeah, but it doesn't, at least it doesn't really dwell on it. I feel like this whole trailer, I feel like I've seen the movie before, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Set in Palmyra City, which is a fictional city, but it looks kind of like a cross between Miami and Dubai. It's all like neon, big, tall, posh buildings.
Okay.
It's a massive departure from the comics. In the comics, Jaime is from he's from El Paso in Texas. Texas, I think it is, El Paso? Might be wrong. El Paso in America. We're not from America. We don't know. But it's a little town. A lot of fans, though, aren't happy about the fact that they've changed it because they were looking forward to seeing like a bit, not realism in the movie, but like the real town he was from. Like how Miles in Spider-Man's like from Brooklyn and they've kept him in Brooklyn rather than putting him in like California or something like that. I think that's what people are a little bit upset about. Right. Because it was more relatable when he was just like a kid from El Paso and now he lives in what looks like Dubai. So
basically
realistic.
they've Gothamed it up, haven't they? So whereas like
but more
Gotham's like
bright.
the Chicago of DC and stuff, it's like they've done that kind of thing again, isn't it? Metropolis, the New York of DC, like that kind of thing.
I just don't feel like it's very. Yeah, I suppose it's not really. There's no like real places though, are there? When you think about all the DC stuff that we've seen,
not in DC, no.
No, it is all Metropolis, and then that like island that they went to in the Suicide Squad. I assume that's not a real place. Fire Island. I'm joking. Sorry, no. The Starro place.
It's a gay party island. That I was joking.
Was it? Okay, no, don't know about it. Anyway, moving on. So we see Jaime rolling up to Cord Tower with his family cheering him on. So Cord is a character from the comics. Ted Cord is. So he's the owner of Cord Industries, and he was the second incarnation of Blue Beetle. Kind of like Batman. So rather than having powers, he was just rich, and he had like loads of gadgets and stuff, which we see at the end of the trailer, which we'll talk about. There's no sign of him in the trailer. Apparently, he's not on the IMDb cast list either. But the fact that he's mentioned, and obviously it is Cord Industries, I reckon he'll probably show up at some point in the film, like towards the end or in a sequel, if it ever gets a sequel. As soon as he gets in there, he gets handed a Big Belly burger box, which is another DC Comics reference, by his love interest in the movie. So Jenny Cord, played by, I can't do this one, Bruno Marquezines. I really apologise if I've just butchered that lady's name. So her name
is Bruno.
Bruna, sorry.
Oh.
Autocorrect. Autocorrect on my
We
notes.
don't talk about Bruno. No.
We don't. So again, Jenny Cord. So she's obviously some relation to Ted Cord as well. But I don't know, daughter?
Perhaps daughter, yeah.
Daughter, niece, something like that. Right, this is then, at that point in the trailer, this is where we see the transformation and Jaime getting his powers. So the scarab jumps on his face, his uncle trying to get it off. George
Hilarious,
Lopez.
by the way.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was really funny.
His uncle getting shot across the kitchen when he tries to rip it off his face. It was quite raw and like visceral, the transformation, wasn't it? Like it was like a horror movie. Like when he's on the floor and like really like slowly the legs start coming out of the back. The
legs creep me out dead bad, to be fair.
Because it looks like they're coming out of his body, and it's only then you realise they're coming out of his clothes. Yeah. And then he gets like jumped to the ceiling, and he's like upside down on the ceiling screaming.
Hello, Exorcist.
It was, wasn't it? It was a weird choice considering how sort of comic-y the rest of the trailer looked.
But again, I quite like it.
I liked it. It was something
different. Because it's saying, it's kind of giving me vibes that it's going to be a bit of both.
Yeah. No, I agree, yeah. So we see his AI, which is basically like his Jarvis.
Yeah.
And then he flies up into space. What did you think of the suit? So this is the first time we've seen the suit properly. I know we'd seen it in like set pictures.
I actually really like it.
I really like it, but it just looks like an Iron Man suit.
It does look like an Iron Man suit.
Even like the face, it just looks. I mean, I don't know whether that. I think it looks pretty similar, to be honest, to what Blue Beetle looks like in the comics, but it really looks like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact he's blue. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It just feels a bit. This is what I mean by when I say like I feel like I've seen this before, because it just feels like they've taken bits from loads of different movies. There's so many vibes of like Spider-Man in it as well.
Yeah,
and I think that's
the legs alone.
Yeah,
the legs coming up the back because obviously
didn't even think of that
in No Way Home.
But I just think I think it's hard not to though. When Marvel have released 47 projects or however many they've done, do you know what I mean?
They've all got costumes.
It's going to be hard not to do things
overlap.
It's going to be hard to be completely original at the end of the day.
It's again, you know, they've done it with villains and stuff like that. Who was it that wasn't supposed to have a nose, but they didn't want him to look too much like Voldemort, which is why they gave him a nose.
Gore.
So you had that.
Yeah.
You've got Red Skull.
Yes.
There was the concerns about him overlapping. You also then had, going well back, so when we had Apocalypse, X-Men Apocalypse, he looked like what was his name? Ivan Ooze from the original Power Rangers movie. Yeah. So, you know, it's gonna happen.
It is going to happen. Yeah, they're all going to look pretty similar. You can't, but it's best to go this way and just stick to your guns rather than just trying to create something that looks massively different.
Stick to your Iron Man suit.
Yeah, but it just they could have done something to make it look completely different from an Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
but it probably
even giving it bug eyes.
Yeah, but that's just not what he looks like in the comics. I suppose it's quite good that they've stayed faithful to the comics without making it look too comic-y, even though it is quite comic-y. You know what I mean? So, moving on to the trailer, then we get some dialogue from Jenny. She says it's called the Scarab, and it's some kind of world-destroying weapon designed to protect its host. And then we see the hose cutting through the bus, which is good. Again, I feel like I've seen it before because it happens in Doctor Strange too. He cuts through the bus and he cuts it in half. But I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah,
the look on his face when like he's like in slow motion, he puts his hand to his mouth like that. And you just see everybody in slow motion just shitting themselves as he rips through this bus. It was good. It's not super original, but it was fun. Do you know what I mean? Quite lighthearted. We get our first look at Susan Sarandon as Victoria Cord, which was supposed to be Sharon Stone. Do you remember this?
No.
We originally said Sharon Stone had been cast. And
because we were worried she was going to complain about her makeup.
Exactly, yeah. We thought it was going to be Catwoman again. So it's Susan Sarandon now.
I didn't even see Susan Sarandon.
Yeah,
I need to watch it again.
Yeah,
I love Susan Sarandon.
So she's Victoria Cord, another Cord. She's Ted Cord's sister and likely be one of the villains of the movie. Right, she says the scarab chose you, but it belongs to me. So she's obviously trying to work on it.
Was that her?
I assume she's trying to like get the power of the scarab for like army. It's going to be army or something like that, isn't it? Basically, like so we also hear and see again another actor, Raoul Max Trujillo as Carapax, the indestructible man. So we see him for like seconds and we hear his voice for a couple of seconds. So he's a Blue Beetle villain from the comics, but more so one of the first Blue Beetle, Daniel Garrett. So Jaime Reyes is the third Blue Beetle in the comics.
Right, okay.
It's confusing, isn't it? But it is what it is. So in the comics, this dude found a robot, but ended up dying when he tried to activate it. But his mind sort of got melded to the robot. So even though his body died, he's now in the robot.
He was uploaded.
Basically. And he's the indestructible man.
So he's Ultron.
Became a supervillain. Yes, again, talking about not being original. He's Ultron, basically. Ultron, Johnny Five, whichever one you want. They're both evil robots. We get some shots of Jaime using his powers, beat up some bad guys. We get a shot of the ship, the Bug, in the comics, which was given to Jaime by Ted Cord. Why he needs a ship exactly, I don't really get it, because he can fly and his suit can just rip through buses, so I don't know what he needs a spaceship for. But it looks cool, and it'll sell toys. And then we get the sort of shot towards the end where he says, the suit says, whatever you can imagine, I can create. And then he
did the sword.
Again, very Iron Man.
Yeah.
It did look like it was just...
But I liked it.
I did. It was quite cool as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something about the shot that seemed a bit off.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not convinced that's him in the suit. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm just not convinced that's Jaime in the suit at that point.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be proven wrong, but just something about it.
The girl?
Maybe. Just something about it didn't seem right. The final shot is Jaime and his family in what looks like Blue Beetle's version of the Batcave, which is apparently in the basement of Cord Tower, people are saying. In the background, we see 2 original Blue Beetle suits. So you see like the old Blue Beetle suits. And then there's a mannequin with a suit missing as well. But obviously that's not the scarab, because that all comes out of the scarab. So that could be Ted. That could be the Ted Cord, the second one, even though his suit was there, and he could still be off Blue Beetling, basically. And then there's a line from George Lopez at the end, Batman's a fascist.
Yes.
That has killed the internet. It's very, very upset a lot of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a joke, guys. It's just a joke. It's just people going, it's pandering, it's this crap, it's trying to be woke and pandering, saying Batman's a fascist and all that sort of stuff. It's not. It's just a joke.
Oh my God.
It's a throwaway line joke just to wrap up the trailer. They probably won't put it in the movie now because you've kicked up such a fuss. But yeah, it was just a joke. That's all it is.
Oh God.
What do you think of the trailer then? This is the first we've seen of it at all.
So I'm actually really excited for it.
I am as well.
And I'm hoping that if it does go well, because it's not tied to anything at the minute, it could still have a future in the DCU. Well,
I think that's what the plan is, isn't it? This is supposed to be the first movie of the new DCU.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they're confirming it in case it does crap.
Yeah.
So if it's good,
especially
they'll
after
run
Shazam.
with it. Yeah. If it's good, they'll run with it. If not, they'll just say, it's in the Shazam universe.
Yeah.
It's difficult though because there's one more old DCU movie coming out.
Aquaman 2?
Aquaman 2 is coming out after this.
Yeah.
So it's really confusing if this is the first one, but Aquaman isn't.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I'm not sure tone-wise this is exactly what I want from the new DCU.
Yeah.
It feels very similar in tone to Shazam.
Yeah.
And as much as I enjoyed that, that's obviously not worked. The other negative I'd say about this is, and it makes sense, it very much feels like a TV movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like big cinema, big budget.
I'm hoping that they've held back on what they've released on the trailer, so that it feels more cinematic once you go in and watch it.
Well, it was made for HBO Max. This.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this wasn't supposed to be a thing. This wasn't supposed to get a cinema release. This was like Batgirl. So this and Batgirl were going to come out on HBO Max. Batgirl got cancelled, and then this gets a cinema release, as you do.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. As I said, it kind of looks like a mix between Iron Man and Spider-Man. But again, it's like we said, it's gonna. You've got to take. There's so much stuff out there already.
It's just quite similar to the Iron Spider suit, isn't it? That's the best way to describe it, actually.
It is, yeah. It's very, very similar, yeah. My sort of the way that I think they could probably get into this, make this fit into the DCU, if we do end up with this Ted Kord back, because the fact that he's not in the trailer and we don't know who's playing him or anything like that.
Yeah.
If he ends up coming across as like a bit of an old retired version of Blue Beetle, he could potentially introduce Jaime to the Justice League and give us an intro to them and act as like a kind of mentor, similar to what Tony does to Spider-Man. But it'd save us having to have origin stories for all this new Justice League or the new castings of the Justice League. It could just be like, he is our sort of door into this new universe and have already established characters so that we're meeting them at the same time as Jaime is meeting them.
Yeah.
If it doesn't flop. If it doesn't do crap. But like we said before, Shazam, the last DC movie, did $54 million in 3 weeks, and that was made for the cinema.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't know. But it's not long away. August 18th.
Well, it's not far away, is it?
Not far off at all. The next one, last one, that's even closer. 2nd of June, not long away at all. Across the Spider-Verse. I've been really excited for this trailer because
you've been really excited for a long time for this.
This is probably, I mean, it's a sequel to, obviously, one of, if not the best Spider-Man movie. I really like Spider-Verse.
Did you go that far?
Yeah. I'd definitely say it's one of. It's in the top 3 Spider-Man movies, Spider-Verse, and I think you could argue against it being argue for it being the best. I really enjoyed Spider-Verse. I've watched it so many times. Do you not think it's that good?
I've watched it once.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, maybe I need to go back and watch it again.
I think I really
I didn't dislike it by any means. I enjoyed the film.
I think it surprised me a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed it.
Was Fisk the bad guy in that?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just think it was just so different.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that it was animated gave them the opportunity to do so many things that you could just never do with a live action movie. Let's break the trailer down though. So we open on Miles, Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man, as he said, so get a huge contrast straight away to that Blue Beetle, moving to Palmyra City, the big fake city. They've doubled down on the fact that it's Brooklyn, not New York. Very grounded. Yeah. It's the way that they're going with it. I thought it was a bit weird that we had What's Up Danger, the same song from the first movie, playing in this trailer.
Wouldn't have picked up on that.
Didn't you pick up on that?
No.
Same theme tune, yeah. The trailer sort of starts off showing us that Miles is struggling with being Spidey and Miles at the same time, trying to maintain being basically a kid, his parents' son, at the same time, trying to be a hero. I think that's going to be the message for the movie. I think the whole thing, because it's a 2-part of this, isn't it? So it's Cross Spider-Verse Part 1 and then Part 2 next year, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to the whole story is going to be him, which to be fair is like most Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
It's going to be him trying to do both jobs, really. We see a new villain as well in the trailer, the Spot, voiced by Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Who's just it's basically can just create portals, can't he?
Yeah.
That's it. That's it pretty much. When it first got announced he was in it, I think people thought he was going to be the big bad guy because he was like the only villain announced for the movie.
Yeah.
But I think he's just going to be like a bit of a throwaway.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a laugh. And it looks like Miguel's probably going to be the big bad guy of the movie. Yeah. I liked it when he was just standing there and the bread's just flopping out of his stomach.
That was funny as hell. I was laughing my head off at that, to be fair.
You just couldn't do it with a live action movie. And if you did put that in live action, it'd look silly and cheap.
Yeah.
Whereas you could just completely get away with it with this. So after sort of coming to the sort of giving over the impression that he's struggling to maintain Spidey and Miles, that's when Gwen comes back. So she takes him into the Spider-Verse. She introduces him to, in Miles's words, an elite crew with all the best Spider people in it. So it's like got Spider-Woman, Punk Rock Spidey, and then we get Miguel O'Hara, voiced by Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Who is Spider-Man 2099. So he's got this team and he basically says that Miles can never be a part of it. So whatever you do, you're never going to be able to be part of this team. That's what he's saying. Rude. It's a bit rude, isn't it? It's a bit shitty. Bit of a snarky shit Oscar Isaac in this, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the fact that we get the reference to, I assume, Tom Holland. He says, don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and that little nerd back on Earth 1999.
Yeah.
616. Well, you said it because I was wondering whether it was like actually meant anything or
I was
it was just like
confused
a funny
by
reference.
this because Iman
Vellani.
Yeah. She had said on the red carpet when Miss Marvel came out that she was convinced that although Feige was saying that this was Earth 616, she didn't believe him, and she thought it was Earth 1999. 999.
1999, 999,
Yeah,
something like that, yeah.
And
that came out of nowhere and no one's talked about it for a year.
No, and then he said the same thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we looked it up, didn't we?
We did look it up and it said they're the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
but why would you have two different numbers for the same thing? That's what confused me.
Because we call it 616. Or, no, so the impression I get from reading the article and have to think about it is that our Marvel Universe, as far as they're aware, is Earth 616.
Yeah.
But everybody else in all the other universes knows it as Earth 1999. So we call it Earth 616.
Yeah.
If it's our universe and everybody else calls it something different. Do you get what I mean?
So it's like we call ourselves humans,
yeah,
but an alien would call us aliens. Scum.
Yeah. Those dickheads on Terra. That's it, isn't it? Like Earth.
That's just killed me, that.
Those dickheads on that blue planet who still wipe the bum with paper. Those, but no, it's like in the MCU, we all call it Earth, and every other alien calls it Terra.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's the same. I get the impression it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make me wonder whether is there something more to that we're going to find out, or is it literally just they put it in there because it's a reference to what Iman Vellani said, which wouldn't surprise me either if that's the way we're going with it. But it's definitely got people talking and arguing about it online.
Yeah.
Like what?
Especially since it's an Oscar Isaac line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's MCU.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? We also see Peter B. Parker back.
Yes.
With baby Mayday Parker, who's got her own spider powers and web slingers and stuff like that as well.
Weird.
But are they? Have they given her like web things, or did she just? Are they organic?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they're organic. I don't know.
It might be organic.
You never know. I'm sure we probably never get it explained. So he says all this thing about never being able to be part of the team. So Miguel says you can never be part of it because being Spidey is a sacrifice. And it's a choice between saving one person and saving every world. Not just the world, every world. And when Miles then asks to go home, Miguel won't let him. And they start talking about Uncle Ben at that stage. It's trying to... And then obviously he's trying to get away from all the Spideys.
Yeah.
It's being very vague in what's going on.
Yeah. It's not really telling you much.
I think... Because it doesn't give you a huge amount away. I think that this is going to be... I think they're pushing it as his dad in the trailer, but I reckon it's going to end up being like his mum or his dad. Obviously, every Spidey's had their Uncle Ben. Yeah. And Miles hasn't. I suppose to a degree he had Peter.
Yeah.
But he didn't really know him. He wasn't really a big part of his life. And I think what they're saying, what this is leaning towards is...
I thought his dad died.
No, his dad didn't die. No.
Why did I think his dad died?
Because his dad died in the comics and in the game.
Right. In the game.
In the game, his dad died. Yeah. So I think it's going to be your dad. This is your story, because he says I'm sick of people telling me what my story is going to be. I think it's a case of this is your story, and somebody important to you, either mum or dad, has got to die as part of this story. And whatever you're doing, you're stopping this from happening. And it's going to completely destroy the multiverse if it doesn't happen, or the Spider-Verse.
So basically, you've got
to
choose over whether you save one or whether you save the many.
No, I don't think it's a choice. I think it's like if you don't let this happen, No, I think he's stopping it somehow, and they're saying to him, if you don't let this happen, the whole universe is going to collapse. So we need to stop you from stopping it happening. And he's going to end up trying to fight back against it, which is why all the Spiders are chasing him. Which is why he puts out the alert and says, all Spideys, get Spider-Man. And then all the Spideys look at each other and they all do the point. There's like 100 of them all doing the point.
I was really upset they put that in the trailer, because I would have loved to have seen that for the first time in the cinema.
I know.
That'd have been funny as fuck.
But it still worked really well in the trailer as well.
It did work really well.
And so many Spideys. We've got the Ben Reilly Spidey. We've got PS4 Spidey doing it as well. Yeah. We got all of them. And then the therapist at the end.
The therapist, when he's like, yes, Uncle Ben.
That was great. But yeah, I think that's going to be. I think if somebody doesn't die, it's going to not just destroy his timeline, but it'll destroy the whole Spider-Verse or multiverse or whatever it is. Basically, break reality. And I would guess, this is pure speculation, I think that the movie, because it is a two-parter, will end with him saving whoever he needs to save and thinking, I've done it, and then everything will collapse.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be the end of the movie. And then the next one is going to be trying to fix it.
Yeah.
That's got to be where it's going to go.
Because that'd be like a blip ending, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He thinks he's done it. He thinks he's won. And we'll be led to believe like he's managed to do it. He's managed to somehow save the universe and save his dad at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it'll all crumble. Yeah. And his dad will die as part of it, and it'll all just fucking fall apart.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with it.
Oh, okay.
What do we think of the trailer?
I'm really excited for it, to be fair.
Yeah, it looks so good. Just the look of the movie, all the different animation styles is brilliant.
It does make me feel like I'm on LSD when I watch it, though.
Does it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
I don't know whether it's because I've watched it this week when I'm really ill. Like, I'm struggling to focus on things anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of colours, a lot of
there is a
lines that aren't, like, they wobble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think all of that's just, like, been a bit of a head fuck for me.
And it's all the different styles. It's all the conflicting styles of art, which, again, is what makes the movie. Because it's all different universes and you've got all these different art styles.
I do want the Simpsons Spider-Pig to turn up, though.
Spider-Pig.
And I just want to hear the dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum just for a second. And then it goes away again.
It's never going to happen, but it'd be good.
I know, but it'd be so funny.
I'd be completely good with it.
Everyone else starts pointing at each other, and then there's just a close-up of Spider-Pig going...
But yeah, that's it. That's our 3 trailers. 3 massive trailers.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, none of these things are too far away.
No.
I feel like sometimes you do trailers, or we used to do trailers, and it'd be like, right, we'll see what happens in 18 months. And this is all like, literally, we've got start of June, end of June, and start of August for all these things.
And even then, we've still got Guardians of the Galaxy in May before that.
Exactly. There's a new trailer for that this week as well, but I'm not watching it.
No.
Or Barbie, because I don't want to get it ruined. Don't want to ruin it. Should we see what the listeners think? Should we do Podfans Assemble?
Yep, I'm ready for me 5,000 word essays.
Podfans Assemble.
So, as normal, we did our poll. So we said, off the back of this week's trailers for Secret Invasion, Blue Beetle, and Across the Spider-Verse, which one are you most excited for? Ooh. So we strayed from the path a little bit there.
Wait, before you do the results, which one are you most excited for?
What were the options again? Secret Invasion.
You just read them? You've got it in front of you. You've even got the results in front of you.
I am so ill. I'm really not well, guys.
Quality.
I can't cope. Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
I won't phone a friend.
It's not necessarily that it looks the better of any of them, even though it probably does to a degree. I think it's just, I'm so excited to go back to Phase 2 Marvel.
Yeah, same.
What did everybody else think, Anthony?
Okay, so in last place with 21% was Blue Beetle.
Ooh, gutted. It was a good trailer.
In second place with 27% was Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Which means with a whopping 52% of the overall vote, it was Secret Invasion.
I get why people would.
Yeah, I get it
like
as well.
The fact that Across the Spider-Verse is very close to Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
I think for Blue Beetle, completely new, not seen anything like that before. How well loved Spider-Verse was. It's done quite well to.
And that was one of our higher side of number of votes as well.
Amazing. Well done.
So
I don't know what I'm saying. Well done to. Well done to me. Well done to them. So I've broken down the messages on this one.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the messages for Secret Invasion trailer. So this was basically, what did you guys think of the Secret Invasion trailer?
So Maury said, first question, are you Skrulls?
Yes. I am, and he's not. Skrulls don't get ill.
Skrulls don't get ill. I'd be really mad if you were a Skrull and I wasn't.
All the time.
I'd be dead sad.
You're
I
right,
want to be a Skrull. Second question, how many heroes do you think are secretly Skrulls? / who do you trust the most?
Don't trust anybody. Don't trust Rhodey.
No.
Or Luis, as we said. I think we kind of answered this. I don't trust any of the supporting characters in any movie.
I would love there to be one big one, though, that was a shock.
Yeah.
I would love that to be the case.
Realistically, it can be anybody without powers. And there's a lot of MCU heroes with
Pepper Potts.
Yeah, but there's so many. Yeah. How many though have got no? Even the heroes though, how many of them have got no powers? Ant-Man's not got any powers. Wasp's not got any powers.
No.
Luis has got no powers. Pepper Potts has got no powers. Rhodey's got no powers. Hawkeye's got no powers.
Tony Stark had no powers.
He's dead now though.
No, I know, but still.
Yeah, but
we
so many of them. Sam Wilson's not got powers and still hasn't.
Ooh.
And wouldn't take the formula to get powers.
No. Exactly.
There you go.
But then Skrulls are stronger, so even if he did...
Exactly, but he kicks ass. He kicks ass considering he's not any powers.
Yeah, well,
there you go. You heard it here first. It's going to be a long Podfans Assemble because we went 6 minutes on this one message.
At the end, he just said, in other words, I'm very excited.
Me too.
Me three.
Don't blame you.
Louis Stromboli said, I have a question. Is this supposed to be Super Skrull?
And it's a picture of Gravik with his tentacle arms. Yeah. Yes.
It looks a bit Grooty, doesn't it?
It does look a bit Grooty, yeah. Groot Skrull.
Who'd have thunk?
Maybe.
Sleepy Dad said, stripped back Marvel, Fury goes John Wick on some aliens. Might be what's needed after a lot of super colour and CGI from Thor and Ant-Man. Almost feels like it's a way of ending the original phases of the main Avengers so Marvel can enter the new era of heroes.
No, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be I want us to be going back to the old style of doing things. I don't want this to be like
I like that it's not as colourful, you know.
I like that it's not as colourful.
I've got to admit.
It's all too bright.
Yeah.
No CGI She-Hulk twerking in an office.
Again, it helps with the grittiness of it.
It does. The darker it is, the grittier it is.
Yeah, physically.
It's better.
Movies
sorry, here's a style we've not seen for ages in the MCU, though, since Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no, I know. Movies for Real said, actually intrigued by this show and haven't been that way with Marvel in a while. Really has that Winter Soldier espionage film vibe. She didn't say film. It just said vibe. I don't know what's happening. I told you I was going to struggle today.
Yeah, you're going to struggle.
Trailer actually has me excited for a Marvel project again. Just has to stick that landing.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, me too.
It looks great. They just need to not balls it up.
Exactly.
And have She-Hulk coming in as with a cameo.
Liam Dearden said, the Secret Invasion trailer is everything I wanted, drawing inspiration from one of my favourite Marvel comic crossovers. I'm so excited to see where the show goes, as this political espionage thriller has Winter Soldier vibes, Super Skrulls at play, and a stellar cast. I agree, but can you all stop using the word espionage? Because I know everyone's using espionage. I quite like it. I am struggling. Oh, God. Ross said, although Secret Invasion looks great, I cannot help but wonder if it would have been better as a movie.
I don't know. I think it depends what it's like when we get the series, because some of them do feel like I think
this is the kind of thing that could go either way and be successful.
Yeah.
You could do it as one big battle movie, but I like that it's a series because I feel like things can be unveiled at different times and it can cause many twists.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's the who can you trust.
Yeah. I also think it's the style of series that we
gives
know
me.
as well.
Do you know what it gives me? It gives me vibes of The Following. Have you ever seen that?
No,
with Kevin Bacon?
About it so many times. On the show. You told me about it on the show.
Have I?
Yeah.
I really love it.
I know, I can tell.
You need to watch it.
I'm going to mash all the clips of you talking about The Following together.
And every time it'll be, have I ever asked you about The Following? I mean, Hello said, this trailer looks awesome. Great to see Nick Fury back and centre stage in a Marvel project. He's been long overdue for his own showcase, and this feels a worthy corrective. The sense of intrigue, anxiety, and gravitas is palpable. Guys, the words that you use, please. So if Marvel doesn't bite off more than they can chew, as they have in some of their other TV shows, then this one could be the best, most important sagas to hit the MCU in years. Let the Who Is, Who Isn't a Skrull games begin.
Yeah. Can the next message just be me like film? It look good. Because you're going to struggle with anything else.
I'm going to have a stroke.
Okay, cheers, guys. So next we're going to go Spider-Verse next because there's 112 Blue Beetle ones and he's going to have to fly through them super quick.
Okay, so Joe said, maybe the best looking animated film and the best Spider-Man media in years. Really excited to be excited about something related to the wall crawler again.
Oh, I thought No Way Home was good.
I like No Way Home.
I like No Way Home. But this does look boss, to be fair.
It does. Maury said, they got the MCU number correct. All is right in the world.
Yeah.
1999. Sheldon Pink, you know I don't usually watch trailers, but took a swing on this one as the movie is a little way off, so I'm feeling pumped for this. I love comic book movies as stories brought to life, but this is literally like diving into the pages of a comic book. Yeah, spectacular and amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got the two Spider-Men.
Yeah, I'll put each other. There's going to be hundreds of them on screen doing it.
When Harry Met Movies, the first film was class and came out of nowhere. Hope because of the anticipation for this one that we aren't slightly disappointed. However, I do think it has the potential from the trailer to be the definitive Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah, but the first one did set a really high bar. That's a problem.
It did.
I think that's probably one of the reasons why everyone loved it so much, because it wasn't... People were just like, what's this going to be?
Yeah. Matt V said, all three look great, but that Spider-Verse trailer is on another level. Masterpiece in the making.
Amazing.
I mean, Hello said, Into the Spider-Verse remains a sharp, funny, visually stunning movie and one of the best superhero films of all time. So it's no surprise that Sony aren't rocking the boat with this Across the Spider-Verse trailer. Most sequels are more the same, only bigger, and they've clearly decided that if fans liked 5 other Spiders in the last film, they're going to love 50 in this. I only have so much patience with endless variants of the same character, so I hope that this doesn't all become a bit much of muchness. Still, I love the look of these films, and I can't wait to see if lightning strikes twice here.
Fingers crossed it will. Right, cheers, guys. Right, last one. We've got Blue Beetle reactions now. I'm going to put some music over this and see how quick Anthony can get through. Do them fast.
The countdown music. What's your fave? Freaking amazing. Ivan Perez. The Blue Beetle trailer was pretty good. It didn't give too much away at the end, and it was all just enough to get the fans hyped up for the movie.
It was.
Louis, looks good. Lack of El Paso being featured kills the vibe for me. Understandable.
Like it.
Wesley Brown, so incredibly good. Like it. Sleepy Dad, it looks great with not too much shown. Hopefully the next set of trailers and shorts won't reveal too much and kill any suspense or surprises. But so far it looks... may feel like a little similar to Spider-Man getting used to this new tech suit or the Stark glasses.
Was there an espionage in the middle as well?
I assume it was supposed to say, but so far it looks good.
Oh, okay.
But we've just missed a word on
Go, 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 go. You don't get time.
Oh, sorry. Chewie, exceed my expectations. Rowdy Peeper. Oh, yeah. Rowdy Peeper. Wish they would have kept El Paso, my hometown, but I get the change. Also, no Paco or Brenda in the trailer, but hopefully they're in it. But those are nitpicks. It looks great. Very Spider-Man vibes, which fits for James.
It does.
Good looking for now. Absolutely love Blue Beetle as a character. This trailer already makes me like him more. Haha. Although, also that suit, though. Fire. Since the last live-action adaptation of Blue Beetle that I can remember... oh, by the Wasted Wanderer, sorry. I can say that costume armor-wise, it's definitely an improvement. And because it's played by Zolo from Cobra Kai fame, I know it's going to have some badass fight scenes.
Yeah.
And is that a picture from the old one?
That's Smallville. Smallville's Blue Beetle.
Oh, okay.
Looked crap.
Gabby, looks cool. I want to see all his powers. Tyler, parody account. I'm excited to see a live-action theatrical release movie about a less well-known DC character.
Yeah, that'll be good. Not Superman and Batman again.
Eamon Mohan. I love Zolo and Cobra Kai, and I love the Blue Beetle as someone who is half Latino. Can't wait to see this movie. AJ Roberts, Blue Beetle looks amazing. I'm really excited about this movie. Tokyo said, I think they should have used a different song.
Yeah, people didn't like the song.
Didn't
Got
they?
a few messages
what song
about
was
that. I just want to rock or something like that. I've not heard it before.
RJ, the song was a bad choice, but I'm interested to say the least.
There you go.
Italo Schmidt, AI interface looks too cheap.
Yeah, it did.
Jason, I don't remember.
It was like blue and yellow, and it did look a bit cheap.
Did it?
Yeah.
Jason, this is great but complicated character. The trailer looks like they will touch on that, and the overall movie looks fun. The disappointment is that we have no idea if this cast will survive the changes at DC. I hope they do, because there is easily a great trilogy here.
Go and watch it, buy tickets, make it not completely flop at the box office, and it might.
Yep. Feels witchy. The Scarab needs to have James' own voice, not some shitty Siri voice.
Hi, Maze.
Legit Leaker said, looks really good so far, I'm excited. DC Fanfare said, found it to be exciting. Got elements of Spider-Man Homecoming and Shazam in the making of the movie.
Definitely.
Overall, looking forward to it. Dejan Bartley said, it feels like Iron Man if his tech was an alien, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
I don't like the AI. Feel as if they could have just not had it because it's the main reason why it reminds me of Iron Man. Screen Wolf looked okay, hated the music, hated the Batman line at the end. Zolo seems well suited for the role, but there is actually any future for the character in Gunn's DCU. Maybe.
People hate that music.
People really don't
like
it, do they? The St. Judas of the Blake, it looks exactly like the first Iron Man movie.
Similar.
Raimi Spider-Man 3 Archive. Looks like a streaming movie budget, but still looking forward to it.
Yeah, it does.
The security robot said Blue Beetle is the single most relevant superhero of the 21st century. He's a millennial with an AI drone that 3D prints wearable technology, yet that power is so difficult to control. His pure imagination unleashed, with all of the wonder and the consequences that come with.
I didn't know that. That makes more sense now. 3D prints the technology. I mean, I'm sure it's not actually a 3D printer, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of, like that. Like nanotech, innit?
Yeah.
We didn't get enough of Iron Man doing it.
Sirius X wrote, shit was fire.
It was.
That's
People like this.
What?
People like this trailer,
Yeah. DC Heroes and Villains said loving the Blue Beetle suit.
Me too.
Call Me Spirit said it looks like the way this superhero transform will be almost the same as Venom, but who knows, looks sick as hell though.
Yeah, it did have elements of Venom in that transformation, didn't it?
Island Revenant said Jaime Reyes has deserved his own movie for so long, and now that it's finally here, it's unbelievable. That it seems to lean so heavily on his ethnicity is something the character definitely deserves. The suit and effects don't feel real, but they look cool. That's more important.
Hopefully they'll make the CG look a little bit better by the time it releases.
Maybe.
It did feel TV, didn't it? That's what said.
The Terrible Hook, it looks ridiculously fun. Though I want to see Ted Cord finally, and where did the bug come from?
I think you'll see Ted Cord, yeah.
Benedict Bryan said, amazing, the song and the suit, especially Zolo. Joe said, I love coming of age and superhero stories. So movies like Shazam are right up my alley, and Blue Beetle should be, but feels so off. There needs to be something that makes it stand apart, and here I just don't see it. Okay. Canadian loser? Sad. I want to see this. Ash said, not a fan, strikes me as cringy TV series with low budget, but may still be good. but don't have high hopes.
It
Well, that's
does look
because
like-
it was
yeah, but
originally
it
TV series,
does
so
look
that
like
might be
a
why.
Netflix series, doesn't it?
But hopefully they'll have just pumped a little bit more money into it to make it that.
Yeah. Do you know what? Off the reaction to the trailer, they might do.
Yeah.
Because it seems to have gone down really well.
It worked with Sonic.
Just not as good as Across the Spider-Verse and Secret Invasion, apparently.
No. Skitto said, never have I ever felt more hyped up at looking at a purple elevator with a lady carrying a burger box.
Okay, I wonder where that was going then, but yeah, I get it.
Copy Heroic said, I like how it looks like the directors had free creativity with Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Batty Ritchie said, Blue Beetle saving DC's ass. Jimmy said, if Booster Gold isn't in it, we riot. Lowercase said, it looks good. It's just a little bittersweet knowing no matter how great this might be that it won't matter anyways. I'm all for guns DCU, but I wish these movies in between now and then don't feel so out of place, if that makes sense. We still don't know,
We
Lowercase.
still don't know, no. I think it does
could.
well. Yeah.
Could. Just go and watch it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Make
then
it
buy
some
on
money,
digital when
please.
it comes out a week later.
Exactly. Time Update said, looks cool. There's so many possibilities for the abilities, and I hope to see the most out of it.
Oh, you struggled with that one, didn't you, Anthony?
Because you said possibilities for the abilities.
Well
and
done.
It really threw
Who
me.
was that?
That was Time Updates.
Well done, you get a gold star for throwing that new.
John's tweeter looks like a poorly made CW show.
What? That's it?
And that's everything.
I get that, though. It really looks like it could be in the same universe as The Flash.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing.
No.
It's not a good thing at all. Thanks, guys. That was a massive Pod Fans Assemble, wasn't it?
It was
That
huge.
good. You threw Anthony off numerous times, all
You
the
did.
espionages and all that sort of stuff, so it was good. It was very entertaining to see.
If I was on form, I'd have been a bit better, guys, but I'm just...
Probably not. Anyway.
You're such an arse.
Let's do patron shout-outs. So thanks to Geeky8, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, Sheldon and Michael for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast, Into the Podverse, with brand new episodes every month. March we did Morbius commentary, bad movie commentary. This month, we've just talked about it before we started recording, we are going to do, we already decided last week, but we're trying to figure out when we're going to do it. We're going to do Wonder Woman 1984. Bad movie commentary. Probably like next week.
Yeah.
So it'll be out very, very soon.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm kind of dreading it at the same time. Patrons also get access. They don't get access to anything. I've already said that bit. I always do that. Patrons also get discounts off merch and the ability to listen to the show being recorded live every week. If you want to access all the extra content and support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/thatsuperhero-thing or hit the link in the description. Other than that, though, thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back next week. We don't know what we're doing next week. We've got a few ideas. We'll let you know on Twitter when we know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No.
It is what it is. There will be an episode next week. We just don't know what it's going to be about yet. Maybe some big news, trailers, whatever. If you don't already, make sure to check out our socials at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest updates on the show and calls to actions for next week's Pod Fans Assemble when we decide what we're doing. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure you're following us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. The more 5-star reviews we get, the higher we go up the charts, and the more people will be able to find the show. So again, thanks guys for
Cheers,
anybody
guys.
who has left us a review already. Other than that though, we are done. So Anthony is going to go to bed because he looks not very well.
No.
I'm going to watch a Super Mario movie, not tonight, but I'm going to get up early to watch it tomorrow and watch it, even though the reviews are really, really poor. Which is a surprise. Fuck them. Just fuck them. Just the critics.
The audience response has been well better, so I'd go with the audience response over the critics any day.
Look at Shazam.
Critics are snooty little bastards.
They are. They just don't like anything at the moment.
No.
Do they? Just crap Oscars.
Nothing's good enough.
Like that. Nothing is good enough. But if you want to hear people not slag things off, that's why you listen to our show.
Exactly.
Because we don't know what we're talking about. So
Exactly.
good. As long as there's bright colours and some action scenes and the odd swear word, it's all good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Perfect. Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.